Welcome back, everybody, to All Things Nerdy Podcast with Nate and Joe. I'm Nate, that's Joe. And today we have a fun topic that I am not very educated on, so I'm excited to ask some questions, try not to sound like an idiot. But, we got a guy that, works in it, lives in it, and has a lot to say about it, has his own podcast about it, so it's kind of fun. Joe?
Yep, so super excited to get Kevin on here. I've been seeing some of the videos him and Janad have been making of always gut busters and just like when's your next one come out kind of thing. So, but without further ado, Kevin, talk nerdy to us.
Talk nerdy to you. Well, I am Kevin, and I mean I am a nerd, so anything that comes out of this mouth, I'm kind of talking sexy dirty to you. Yeah, no, I was literally, as we were kind of talking in the background, literally on CapCut editing the next video that's about to pop out right after this call. So which I was every time I edit these videos to get nerdy, I laugh. I have so much fun just editing these things. So it's fun to hear on your side that you guys enjoy as much as we do. But for the purpose of this call, yes, my name is Kevin. I've been a DGen in the crypto and blockchain space since 2016. I talk all things Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all this stuff that my wife has known I've been doing for 8 years and absolutely knows nothing about. So Nate, you're in good hands here, because I talk to people all day that know what I've been doing for a long time and have no idea what it is I'm doing. So welcome to the world of blockchain, baby.
Well, I mean, let's kick it off. What is blockchain? Explain it to us as simple terms as you can, right?
Yep.
Like imagine that I am, well, you don't even have to imagine. Let's just know that I'm stupid. Walk me through it. What are we going to talk about?
All right. So the basis of a blockchain is it is a ledger of transactions. That's the foundational reason why blockchain exists. And the reason why the blockchain is such an important topic of conversation is because that ledger of transactions can be public so that everybody can see it, so that everybody can see all transactions. And so the problem right now with our system is we use banks who use ledgers that are private. So we don't get to see anything. And they get to transact and do all these things that we have no idea about. The same with our government. For instance,
that's how congressional members become millionaires.
That's how Nancy
Pelosi
has $175 million, but somehow only makes $175,000 a year. Right?
I wish my salary worked like that.
Wouldn't it be nice if they were on a public blockchain where those transactions that they had could be forward facing and we could see them? So that's the foundational piece of the blockchain. And then in 2016, this gentleman named Vitalik Buterin came in with this blockchain called Ethereum, and he kind of changed the game. And so he added computing to a blockchain, so that blockchains are essentially computers. I'm going to try not to lose.
I think I own some Ethereum, actually.
There you go.
If I was to go look, I believe I own some.
Smart man. So apparently, at one point or another, you've been a DGen too.
I think so. I have some buddies that are big into crypto, and I think when Ethereum first came out, they're like, "Hey, go buy some of this." And like, I kind of did some info, like messed around with some crypto. I wasn't super knowledgeable, so I bought some Ethereum when it first dropped, like when it first came out. So I don't even know where I would find that at this point, but I know I have some.
Then make sure you know where it is. You have to find it. And then hopefully you have the password or the keys in order to be in that wallet and take that back, because I guarantee in the next couple of years you're gonna really want to be able to sell that. Guarantee.
Yeah,
a couple years ago, it got pretty big with maybe early last year or something like that, where you could have sold it and made bank.
Oh yeah. So 2021 was kind of the height of the market. November 2021 was when everything went to. Bitcoin was at 69,000. I think today it's at 35,000. Ethereum was at 5,000. And now I think today it's at 1,800. So yeah, back then. And then ever since then, it's just been a steady, which is the 4-year cycle. If you've been in blockchain long enough, it's 4 years. It goes up, up, up. And then, your mom and then your dog walker and everybody finds out about it. And then it skyrockets. And then it drops back to the ground. And then we do it again because everybody forgets every 4 years, like a cycle. So we're about to do it again. It's going to be good. We're all going to get rich again. And then we can all get poor again together. It's great.
So I think the biggest issue with crypto right now, and I don't know like how this is relevant to blockchain versus just pure crypto, but I think oversaturation. I think meme coins are terrible. Now I own some meme coins because it's hilarious, right? But it's terrible for crypto in general because it serves no purpose other than to laugh about it. But crypto in general is just oversaturated to the point that there's a coin for everything. So sifting through all the nonsense to find the solid ones like Ethereum and Bitcoin before Bitcoin was a thing. I keep seeing the story of the dude that gave like 3 Bitcoin for a pizza. He regrets that now.
It's actually way worse. He gave 10,000 Bitcoin for a pizza.
That hurts.
Yeah, it would only be worth $175 million today. It's nothing serious.
Yeah, better have been a good pizza. But I mean, I think that's the issue. And you see more and more cryptos dropping constantly.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. And so that's kind of been that's the state of things, and that's where a lot of the clownishness of this sphere comes in. You have Buttcoin, like you literally have Buttcoin. You have ridiculousness, because the reality is to spin up a blockchain, it's really easy. It's very simplistic. It's very plug and play at this point. So for anybody to do that, it's easy. But I'll say this. It's not unlike the .com era, right? Back in the day when the internet first started getting going, and you had any website that could be a website, pets.com, money.com, right? All these things got spun up because the money was there. And it's a nascent technology where a lot of people can take advantage of other people. And so I think we're at the phase of blockchain and crypto where regulation is going to start to come in. Congress is talking about it more, so that we can get to a place where they'll have parameters and rules and regulations around what you can do and how you can transact. And then the real shining stars of the blockchain sphere will come to light.
So I think we're going to have a hard time throughout this podcast differentiating between just crypto and pure blockchain. And I don't want to go towards more towards like crypto if the focus is blockchain, right? But
it's the same thing.
Okay.
So yeah. So real quick for distinction for the audience. So cryptocurrency lives on a blockchain. You cannot have cryptocurrency without a blockchain. So it's the same thing. It's just they used to differentiate it. Yeah.
Is it like a square and a rectangle kind of thing? Like one is
so the reason why cryptocurrency is a cryptographic way to transact. The only way that you can cryptographically transact is on a blockchain. So it's the foundation layer of what crypto is. So Ethereum is a blockchain, Bitcoin is a blockchain, Polygon is a blockchain, Dogecoin is a blockchain, Shiba Inu is a blockchain. You know what I'm saying?
I own some Shiba, just so we all know.
That's why I was going through the memes. I figured those would ring a bell to some people. There you go.
Dude, so I want to go back to what you said a minute ago, right? Because you're talking about how the government is going to come in and regulations, and that's going to kind of differentiate between the good ones and the bad ones. However, the government regulating, getting their filthy, nasty paws on it, which is going to ruin it, is directly against what crypto wants to be. If you take like Bitcoin, it doesn't want to be regulated. Like it is purely regulated by the market, supply and demand.
That's correct.
What's available, what's not available.
That's correct.
However, when the government comes in and fucks it up for everyone, right? Like that takes away from the essence of crypto. And I think that will end up scaring people and probably almost ruin a lot of the crypto market, because every time Congress is like, we're going to regulate this, you see the crypto market go, whoop.
Yeah. So there's a reason, and I can make it very stark for you. So here's the reality of the crypto market. The reality is, well, here you go. Do you remember 2021?
Not
remember
much,
crypto?
Sure.
Remember crypto in 2021?
It was up here.
You said that everybody that you know was talking about it. Heck, somebody told you to buy Ethereum, right?
And you were there's like, a lot of rich people from crypto.
You were like, "What's Ethereum? I don't know." And then you bought it, and even it's today, you still have it, and you don't even know where it is, right? Okay. So now we're at a place where only the craziest of the crazy are still here. That's me. We're the degens, right? So yes, people like me have an ethos, which is decentralization, right? The reason why I understand fractional reserve banking, the reason why I understand blockchain and its necessity is because I understand the last 90 years of banking and how we're all kind of institutionalized to do what they want us to do versus being owners and property rights, right? So blockchain is getting back to property rights and ownership, right? It's you being the bank. The reality is 75% of the world is bankless. It's nice for us in the Western world, but a lot of crypto and the blockchain has little to do with the United States. There's not a lot of use case out here because we have the dollar. The dollar is the reserve currency of the world. So, but the same is not for Argentina.
I don't think it is anymore, right? Didn't it just get changed? Like,
it doesn't work like that. No. So, no, 100%. So we still transact in. You can look it up. The dollar has been and will always be the reserve currency of the world. Oil is still transacted in dollars. The world, 90% of the world still transacts in dollars. Yes, the BRICS are coming and trying to create a new currency, but with all due respect, if you think that the BRICS are going to replace the dollar, then
no. So I know it was a thing recently where like they're like was it like Russia is adopting trading in like the yen, and there's several other countries that were saying that they were adopting the yen as the trade currency versus the dollar, which is why I said like, oh, didn't it change? So that's what it was. I guess it hasn't nationally changed, although our dollar is constantly losing value. I just came from overseas and it sucked. But like with other countries adopting the yen as the trade currency is why I was like, didn't that just change? But no, it is still, for the listeners, it is still the US dollar from per Google and Kevin.
I'll be honest. So if you want to get real nerdy, you don't want to get that nerdy. But I'll tell you what. The Japanese government owns well over $19 trillion of treasuries from the United States. The yen could literally never be the reserve currency of the world. It's impossible. So yes, there are other countries that can transact in yen, but let me give you an example. So when I say the dollar reserve currency, right, it's other countries saying, okay, I'm going to transact. Why would China transact in a yen? That wouldn't make sense. They want to transact in yuan. Why would Russia? It
was China's currency, not yen. It was China's currency, is what
yuan,
they were adopting.
The yuan for sure.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah. I told you, this is not my world. This is not the world I live in. So
no, it's only well. That's why in the audience too, right? They want to understand. So a lot of what's going on is it's a lot of putting your chest out. And so the reality is, for the last 80 years, the dollar has been the global status, and the world would not like that. And I'll say this: and I'll leave it here so we don't get on another tangent. When the war in Russia started, we took Russia off the SWIFT system, and we stopped their ability to transact in dollars. That told the rest of the world what it was that we could do to you if you didn't play by our rules. And the rest of the world didn't like that. So now, little by little, they are trying to get off the dollar. But the problem about that is it's 80 years of infrastructure, and then this thing called the United States Navy that will always be in your face the moment. And you could ask Muammar Gaddafi or any other leader that we've told to step aside when you wanted to not transact in dollars. So we have, unfortunately, the U.S. military is very strong, and that's going to always be the case. So until that's not the case, the world will transact in dollars, if you understand where I'm getting at.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I wish our dollar held more weight, right? Because like I know like $1 to a euro, like €1 is technically like 80 cents or something like that. So I mean, I wish I could get like 10 euros for $1. That'd be fantastic.
And that's exactly why we're doing this crypto thing, is because there's so much of that. It's called the euro dollar system. So much of all we're talking about happens behind the scenes, in the shadows, where nobody can see. So the necessity of a public blockchain is so that we can see, so that the people, us, who give our tax dollars to these people, we can actually see where our tax dollars are doing, that they're not funding wars that we don't have, that we didn't ask to be funded, that they're not giving weapons, they're not giving all these things, right? So it's another way for us to start realizing where our money's going and then take that ownership back to ourselves.
Well, I think it goes back to what I was saying about like Congress and all them trying to regulate it is against the essence of crypto, because Congress will never allow that, right? Like it will never be utilized to allow like for people to go see what they've done, like even now they put so many layers between like the stocks that they trade, and most of them, I won't say all, most of them should be in jail for insider trading and things like that.
No, probably all of them.
Probably. I didn't want to. Maybe there's a good one out there.
That's fair.
But most of them.
Yeah.
So,
No, yeah,
well,
no, 100% to that point. Look, do I have faith in Congress? No, they've that's gone and past. But that's why we're doing what we're doing, because it'll get to a tipping point where I feel like we're gonna get to a tipping point where I don't think, like, I get it that they make the rule. So for instance, and I know that again, this will get to a whole nerdy essence. They can't regulate Bitcoin. Like, it's impossible.
which is something
And
they hate. They do not like it.
100%. And the reason we know this is because for 14 years they've tried. They tried to kill it. I could tell you the numerous ways they've tried to kill it, but yet it's still here. And not only is it still here, the largest asset owner in the world, BlackRock and Larry Fink, are going to create an ETF out of it. So if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know, while everybody like the JP Morgans of the world are telling you it's rat poison, as your government is telling you it's BS, Larry Fink, who is the government, who owns more assets, $14 trillion, is telling you to go buy it. So what's happening is all the rich people in the world are buying it right now. And they're telling you it sucks. It's the stupidest thing. Don't you ever do it. You're ridiculous. I can't believe you. It's rat poison. It's promoting terrorism. Okay. And then what's going to happen is a year to a year and a half from now, let me see. Yeah, on the clock, about a year and a half from now, they're going to tell you that it's the greatest thing ever. And then you're going to buy it. And then they're going to drop their bags on your head. And that's America.
I mean, it was like
and let me say this. Do you know how I know this? Because the blockchain is public and we can literally see it. I can literally show you on the blockchain where all the money is coming in. We can show you the wallets, who owns these wallets. Dude, it's hilarious that they think that we can't see this. It's hilarious.
I mean, it was OBJ, I believe, that like asked for part of his contract to be paid out in Bitcoin.
In Bitcoin, that's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's very, and I like Bitcoin, like I got nothing against it. I think it's great. I wish I owned a lot of it. But
says, preach, Kevin. Let's go.
So,
I think
dude,
Steven might be a degen.
Fun fact for you, Kevin. Me and Joe, we almost had someone on this podcast that is creating a D&D game on the blockchain. Like, that is his whole shtick. It's his new company. Like, he's creating a virtual game for blockchain, which is kind of cool.
Hold on, dude. You're a gamer.
Yeah,
are you familiar 100%. Are you familiar with how NFTs are going to change gaming forever?
No, I don't really keep up with NFTs. I never understood the whole digital art thing. Like, I can Google your, drunk ape and like
all good,
print it off.
So have you ever played a game where you had to buy an in-game item?
Yeah, I mean, I play Call of Duty. You don't have to, but
you have, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be really cool if that in-game item, that gun, that is awesome and that everybody knows right? Wouldn't it be cool if you could take it to every other game that you play? That's also a first-person shooter game. Wouldn't it be cool if your assets that you buy, you could actually own? And let's just say, for instance, let's say you become one of the biggest gamers on Twitch. Let's say all your weapons are highly valuable, right? But they create a new game, and then boom, they're all gone. Well, in the NFT and the blockchain world, when you build on the blockchain, you own those assets. You can go to a marketplace and sell them, or they'll be interoperable. So you'll be able to bring those assets to the next iteration of the game, and you'll keep all your value that you've accrued.
So counter to that, that's already kind of a thing, right? Like, so I play Dota 2. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's Defense of the Ancients, right? It's a lane game. And one of the biggest things, like, no outside of the game purchases affect in-game things. It is all just visual aesthetic stuff. However, like, I have a set right now in my Steam inventory that I could turn around and sell for like $1,300 right now, right? And that's at a discount. So like, I got it out of a drop and then could turn around and flip it if I wanted to. So I do own it. However, the interoperable thing that you said where it swaps from one game to the other, I don't understand from an actual usability aspect how that would work. Like a COD game going into Apex, two different things. Even Warzone 1 into Warzone 2, not a thing. And people were upset that Warzone 1 to Warzone 2, they got rid of the skins and all of that, which I understand, which I didn't spend. I spent maybe like $10 on COD, but like so I wasn't upset about it. There's people that spend thousands, but to say that like they should own them and be able to flip those skins, sure, but like it just wouldn't work to swap them from game to game.
Yeah, so I didn't mean it like that. So obviously you wouldn't have a gun in a Call of Duty with like a dinosaur like knife game or something, right?
Right.
That wouldn't make sense, right? But what I'm saying is, you know, if you have two person shooter games where both have guns, then there is interoperability, and that does make a lot of sense. But to your point, so Steam is a joke in our space. I hear what you're saying, but what I'm saying though
Tread
is
carefully, sir. I love
uh,
Steam.
it's okay.
Steam
I
is a
don't mind. I
joke.
don't mind.
Oh, no.
I know the history of Steam and gaming very well, so I'd be happy to dive down that rabbit hole. I'll say this: that piece is right, but I want to open it up more. I don't want Steam, the platform, to accrue the value out of what literally all they built is a platform for games. And then that value doesn't accrue back to the game makers. Steam takes the value out of that. They take more than 50% of the earnings from any game that comes on their platform. I think that should go 90% to the creators of the game and like 10% to Steam. And then also, Steam, when you sell those items, gets a percentage of that. I also don't think they should get a percentage of that as well. I think the royalty should be paid to the original creator of said in-game assets. It should not go. So let me give you, for instance, Spotify. Spotify would not be a platform if it didn't have its creators on the platform. It would just be a
100%.
platform there, right? Steam would not be a platform without the games on that platform. So Steam is not, that's not the value. The value is the games that you play. So same in creators, right? We all create all these things, and then we have this thing that has this like middleman that takes all the value extraction out of the thing that we created that they would have never had any part of if they just didn't have this ability to be the conduit. We're trying to replace that conduit with just us.
So counter argument to that, without Steam, their visibility would be so small. Most of the small market games and like the non AAA games and things like that, like they would have so many less people buying them. So Magic the Arena, Wizards of the Coast, it's a big game, but a lot of people aren't familiar with Magic. The second they put it on Steam, downloads skyrocketed. Right, like it went from just a normal game that some Magic nerds play. I play it; it's a good game. Go download it. To they put it on Steam and it goes shoop because of Steam. So you can argue that Steam helps lift a lot of these games up to give them the platform to make money and become big studios. So to take some now, should they take 50? Probably not, right? But
it's actually more than that, by the way. I was just it's like 70.
That hurts me.
Like
Don't tell me that.
But I hear you. But that's chicken before the egg. Let me tell you this. If we had this realm, this world that I'm talking about, Steam wouldn't exist. So Steam wouldn't have a place or a platform to do it because all the games wouldn't need to be there. The problem is we live in a world where the games need to be there, but they don't have to anymore because we have the blockchain now where you can have ownership now. What's up, Brandon? What's good? So I hear you. So for instance, again, right now, sure. If you put your music on, actually, you know what? If you put your music on Spotify, you can get
podcast on Spotify. Just plug.
You get 1 million downloads. 1 million downloads. Do you know how much you've made?
No, because nothing I've had has had 1 million downloads, so I have no idea.
No worries, I got you. About $47. You make about $47. Now let's say a better creator program. YouTube. Let's say you put it on YouTube. You get those same amount of downloads. You probably got
we're also on YouTube, kinda. I gotta update us. Go ahead.
So now you probably got closer to like $1,000. Okay, so that's like a little bit better, right? It's a little bit better. But then maybe you go to a blockchain where there's maybe like 50 people there, but those 50 people actually buy your thing. Now you have $2,000 with 50 people. Because it's a one-to-one relationship and they're actually buying what you have. So as opposed to so I hear what you're saying, but the reality is we don't have to we don't have to have people extract our value from us like that when we have the technology to do it. So, and not to mention, the world is changing in social media. We're all getting our own platforms. We're all becoming the Truman Show, right? So I can build my own audience, and if I own it, I'll do it with my 100 true fans. I'll make more doing that than I ever would putting it on Spotify and making all these mother effers rich. Yeah. I'm tired. My point is I'm tired of making other people that have no part of the creative process rich. And all they do is set the rules. I'm tired of the rule regulators making the money, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Mitch McConnells. The politicians should not be making money. We, the people, should be making the money. That's
so
why
let's
I'm in
talk about
blockchain.
like GameStop, right? I think GameStop speaks to like what you're saying. All these hedge fund people and things like that. So the normal people took power and said, "F y'all, we're going to drive this price," and they lost so much money that there's now legislation passed that allows them to freeze versus dropping below a certain threshold, which is ridiculous. Because if I went out and lost that much money, they wouldn't give a shit about me. But so
They always make rules for the rich. Always make rules for the rich.
So I get what you're saying, and like I love the idea, and I do think and I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Oh,
right?
I know, dude. I know.
Because I like what you're saying. I think that's really cool. But on the flip side of that, I think what you would be able to get and receive on the blockchain, like there's so many like small title games that I've played and really enjoyed and love that I would have never found if it wasn't just shown in front of me, right? Like I'm not like going to Google and being like one of them is called Cassette Beast. It's like a ripoff of Pokemon. It's not very good, but I enjoyed it. I would have never looked up that if it didn't pop up on Steam one day.
No. So, dude, we're talking the same language. All I'm saying is there's going to be another Steam, but it's going to be on the blockchain. And then you're going to be able to keep 95% of the value. So my point is F Steam.
Okay.
Like, honestly, I mean, it's F Steam. They are the, and they're not, number one, they said, forget blockchain. I'll never do it. And that's because if they know that's the only way they make money, dude, they're not creative. They're not creative.
At all.
They haven't
Steam
built
does nothing.
anything. They do nothing. We
Their
do it
UI
all
is not even
for
great.
them.
Their UI is a pain in the ass.
It's not. Yeah. So that's my point, right? It's all that extraction. I'm sick and tired of people sitting on the curb and getting money by doing nothing. All they do is have a platform.
Speaking of Spotify, there's been artists that have come out and said like we make like pennies off of Spotify. You know, there was one artist came out and was like I think it was like X amount of millions of views, and they're like, I made like
dude, I can tell you our podcast. I can tell you. I mean, we're not like that crazy, but dude, it's nothing. It's pennies. They give you literal pennies. I mean, just think about that. Think about that for 1 second. You're an artist that brought 1 million people to a platform, and you're getting paid 47. Homie, you could have been on the street, and if 100 people of those people would have walked by, they would have given you from their own pockets more money.
That's true.
That's true.
Dude,
That's real.
There's a dude with a street sign at my light right here. I talk to him all the time. He makes $80 a day. And we're paying artists $47 for 1 million downloads. Come on, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you. When you put it like that, that all makes sense. So essentially the blockchain takes away, like their platform to rob people, because then you would be able to clearly see the worth of the creators and things like that. So seeing the worth is equivalent to seeing the purchases and what people are doing with their money, where it's going, where it's hiding, where it's being sent, when it's being put in, and when it's taking out. And to transparency creates honesty.
And to that point, I would think that marketers would love that. You'll have all the information you need to know exactly how people transact, and it would be everything you want. And then if somebody should like give you their wallet where you can literally see every transact, like everything, what else do you want?
I don't know if I would want everyone to see everything I buy, because I buy some weird stuff.
1,000,000%. But in the future, you'll have that option. So in the future, here's what I think. I think brands are going to pay you for you to be on their platform. That's what I think, because you're going to give them all your data information that's going to show them how to sell you. So why would they not? I would pay $150 to get all your data so I could figure out exactly the message to send you every week to sell you.
Yeah, I mean, so we talked about video games. Let's talk about it, right? Twitch, YouTube. I think Kick is a thing right now. Kick just paid Nick Merckx $10 million to go from Twitch to Kick, right? And now, granted, Nick Merckx was the highest grossing streamer of any video game, blah blah blah, all that. But still, they paid him. And then Kick has also come out with an incentive program for small time people. Now you have to hit a ridiculous amount of like threshold things. Like I think you have to stream for 30 days a month. February doesn't even have 30 days, so I don't know how it works. But like 30 days, but they're willing to pay you $16 an hour. So like if you're looking for money, you can just jump on Kick, play video games for it's 4 hours a day, 30 days a month, and they'll pay you out $16 an hour for whatever you streamed as long as you hit the threshold. That's not bad,
And people are laughing at the metaverse.
Yeah. I wish the metaverse was more real.
Hold on, homie. They're about to pay people $16 an hour, but people are laughing at the metaverse. I don't think I want people to understand what's happening under your feet, and you do not realize what this is the future. The metaverse, y'all. Just again, y'all laugh all y'all want. The metaverse is coming faster than y'all think.
Well, the metaverse is also rapidly changing. You look at the metaverse 5 years ago versus what the metaverse is now. There's no telling what it's going to be in 10 years.
100%. And that's because exponential technology is growing exponentially. AR, VR, you got the Apple, the new Vision Pro. Dude, it's because technology, AI, dude, data scraping. Like everything is so exponential right now. And there's so much infrastructure and money going to building that technology out that you're 100, dude, every year, it feels like it's like 10 years in development. So you're 100% right. 2 years ago, what we were talking about the metaverse is nothing what it's like today.
I'm still waiting for like Sword Art Online type gaming. Like, I don't know if you've, Kevin, I don't know if you've heard of Sword Art Online, but pretty much just you put something over your head and then your whole body, like your whole mind is inside the game, which would be insane.
That's terrible. I don't want that.
No, it's yes, you do. Like
Neuralink for gaming.
It's like to the next level.
Dude, that sounds terrible. That's like, so I see all these things like people be playing like Call of Duty first person shooter and they're strapped into like a treadmill. I ain't trying to get in shape while I play video games.
No,
get the fuck away.
That's the one where I'm like, okay.
Your mind is put into the game, like in a virtual.
Yeah.
Dude, let's talk Black Mirror, right? Everybody's seen the episode with the Falcon on Black Mirror, right? They're playing the game. He's with his, bro. I don't want my mind being like sucked anywhere else, especially like video game world. All the hackers. Next thing I know, somebody's got my mind. They're putting it in a body I can't control. It's a whole thing. I don't want any of that.
I've gone down this road a couple times. Yeah, you are. That's facts.
Oh my gosh! So blockchain, it's in a good spot right now, and you see it just getting better and better as it goes.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were mentioning this before. I don't know if it's on the call now at this point, but when the largest asset manager in the world, Larry Fink and BlackRock, are about to list an ETF, it just really feels like a lot of the rhetoric is BS. That and you know it because there's no way that this man who is so central to the government, so intertwined in the government, wouldn't have had conversations to know what's about to happen. And so it really irks me that in one sphere you hear all this nonsense while we all know, again, I mentioned like on the blockchain, you can see it. You can see people accumulating their bags ready for what's coming. And we haven't even talked about CBDCs and like all that, but like this could get so deep into where we're going.
Crypto, like everything else, is just so polarized, and data is so readily available. And the thing about data is it can be skewed to any way you want it, right? So your anti-crypto people are like, look at this data. It shows you that it's the devil. And then pro-crypto people are like, look at this data. It is your savior. And then, there's your normal people that fall in the middle of that. But like that is the issue, is like you're saying, they're all saying it's trash. Then we have, people saying, oh, it's amazing. People just don't know what to believe. The market is so diluted. There's so much out there. There are so many scams where the crypto is going nowhere, but they're telling you we're linked to this project, that project. And then they're just taking your money and dying, right? They're the one guy.
I feel like you just described LinkedIn too, by the way. But anyway.
Yeah, LinkedIn, you say hey, and you got 100 people being like, I can't believe you said that. And then another 100 people being like, you changed my world. That's so inspirational.
Go read my protests. Just kidding. Don't do that. To kind of Nate's point, like how there's a lot of it, you don't know what way to turn. Like Kevin, this goes for you. Like for someone who's never been into blockchain, doesn't know anything about blockchain or cryptocurrency, anything like that, what are some good resources that are trusted, you can go learn, like get the actual facts, that kind of thing, to one, be able to understand it, and two, actually kind of get a foot in the door and like start your crypto or blockchain like journey?
Yeah. Honestly, I would start with the creator of Bitcoin, her, whoever, we don't know who they are. Their name is Satoshi Nakamoto. They created a Bitcoin white paper. That's how I got my start into blockchain. So they wrote a white paper that describes why they created Bitcoin. and I'll say it really quick. It's kind of why I got into blockchain, which is the 2008 financial crisis. A lot of people lost a lot. I have my in-laws that lost a home. My dad lost tons of his net worth, and nobody really knew what happened. We've been given a story, but that's not the actual story of what happened. And so when I read the Bitcoin white paper, he lays it out in the first couple of sentences what happened. And it's like, oh my God, duh. Like, duh. And then he explains why it is that he created Bitcoin. And then it's just another duh moment. And then once you do that, we call it rabbit holes in blockchain and crypto. There's so many rabbit holes that you go down, which is fractional reserve banking, which is, how we transact in the world, the SWIFT system, the euro dollar system, the global reserve currency, the fact that, we got off the gold standard August 15th, 1971, because Richard Nixon, the fact that we transact oil in dollars in the 1970s, we made an agreement with Saudi Arabia. You learn so much about our history and our world to understand how we are today and what's about to happen, the shift, that you start with the Bitcoin white paper. And it's amazing. Like, just wherever your interests lie, there's something there for you.
Also, well, another thing, and Kevin's podcast, go listen to that.
The Immutable Mindset, but whatever.
Well, also buying crypto can be challenging in of itself, depending on the platform that you go to try to purchase crypto. Like, you got to have a wallet, you got to put a certain amount of funds. Like, I remember way back when, now this is when crypto was just kind of becoming a thing. Bitcoin was still whatever, like you had to like apply for a wallet, and then it was like a week later before you would get access. And now it's a little more.
You're coming from my days. You've been a DJ for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I know a little, right?
I had to download 4 apps to be able to like get it.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
So what platform do you use right now to purchase crypto? Or how many, I guess?
How many virtual wallets do you have?
This is not oh shoot. I probably got like 30 virtual wallets. Yeah, I probably own like 150 NFTs. I probably own like 60. No, probably I'm down. Probably like 40 cryptos now. So this is not financial advice, y'all. Okay, because I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, as a disclaimer, this is not financial advice. Yeah. We're not financial experts. All that good jazz. Don't buy anything we tell you to.
If you live in the States, I would say Coinbase is your way to go. I still think Coinbase is the best out there. I have
Coinbase. I operate through Coinbase.
They're traded on the market. They're regulated by the SEC. They're one of the only, right? And so, in terms of Brian Armstrong, their CEO, he does fantastic work. He's a great leader for this space. Coinbase is a great way to go. If you're looking at like a decentralized in name, there's Uniswap. Uniswap is the popular decentralized DeFi app that people use. You know what? I'm gonna keep it to my Western people, and I'm gonna say Coinbase and leave it there. This is gonna go down a rabbit hole for anybody so I already know. So Coinbase is the place to go. As far as cryptos, right now I'm sticking with my 2 conglomerates, Bitcoin and Ethereum. At the end of the day, kind of how our space always works is the value is accrued to them, and then once it really goes there, people sell, and then it extracts back to the altcoins, because people sell like, okay, let me buy some Solana, let me buy some Doge, and then so it happens every time. Bitcoin goes up crazy, then Ethereum follows, and then all those Buttcoin, Dogecoin, all those altcoins go.
Yep. Bitcoin sets the standard, sets the market. Where Bitcoin goes, everyone else goes. Bitcoin goes up, good chance the other stuff's gonna, slightly follow. So
exactly, you got it.
Yeah, man. Well, I know we're a little over time. Joe, got any other questions?
No, man. Thanks for jumping on with us, talking blockchain and crypto and everything, and it's been fun.
Thanks for inviting me. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. This has been fun. It's been a long time since I've been able to talk about this, so I appreciate y'all for having me on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for jumping on.
Thanks, Steven. Thanks, Brandon.